support of Dr. King Award. Rick Antonio, News 9-Day.
WSGW News Time, 9:07.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Ever have questions about your prescriptions, even in the middle of the night? Well, Walgreens now offers Pharmacy Chat 24/7, so you can ask an expert about things like the correct dosage of your medications or possible side effects. Speaking of side effects, the side effect of getting your questions answered at 2 a.m.? Sleeping much easier for the next 6 hours. Try Pharmacy Chat today or on the Walgreens app.
WSGW News Time, 9:07. A dog found in a Saginaw County animal cruelty case is heading to Utah for rehabilitation. Bella, a young pit bull mix, was found by a U.S. postal carrier in Saginaw August 16th, tangled up in a steel chain with no food or water. She had chewed off part of her own leg in an attempt to free herself. Saginaw County Animal Control began an investigation into the incident and have issued warrants, but no arrests have been made at this time. Bella will receive rehabilitation at Animal Sanctuary in Kanab, Utah, where it's a hope she can be adopted afterwards. A 52-year-old man was recently arraigned in Saginaw County for online child pornography. Martin Rogers of Saginaw turned himself in following an investigation into his online activity. Police seized digital evidence from his home when it was learned he was allegedly looking at materials. He's charged with aggravated possession of child sexually abusive material, distributing or promoting child sexually abusive activity, and using a computer to commit a crime. The State Police Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force encourages parents to monitor their children's online activity and teach them about the safe use. Anyone with information regarding possible child sexually abusive activity can contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at missingkids.org. Well, the high demand for at-home COVID-19 test kits don't get scammed. That word from the head of the Better Business Bureau of Eastern Michigan, Melanie Duquesnel.
The progression happens that you buy your test kit, you do your test, and if you have to send it back, the scammers aren't sending you your results. And those results, in some cases, have been taking days longer than if you just waited in line at a local urgent care or Health and Human Services location.
Duquesnel advises if you're buying an at-home test online, make sure it's FDA approved. If you're getting a test in person, she says make sure it's a reputable site like a Walgreens, a CVS, or a health department. It's a treatment to help prevent severe illness from COVID-19 in some people, but it's not that easy to find. MNN Health reporter Dr. Deanna Lights has more.
Monoclonal antibody treatment can be given to non-hospitalized high-risk patients within a week of developing symptoms of COVID-19 to prevent serious illness.
There's so much out there.
That's Dr. Matthew Sims, Director of Infection Beaumont Health.
We had a monoclonal clinic where we were giving the by injection and a little bit by infusion, and we stopped that currently because out of the 3 monoclonals that were available, 2 of them, the ones that were more commonly available, don't work on Omicron. And almost everything is Omicron at this point.
To find a location offering treatment, check out the State Health Department's website. Dr. Deanna Lights, the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-079. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Mostly cloudy for today. Snow is possible in the area, mainly during the afternoon. Highs will top out near 33 degrees. Winds turn to the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, any snow ends early. Otherwise, cloudiness remains in place with steady or rising temperatures in the region. Winds southwest, 10 to 15. Higher gusts possible. Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Temperatures hold steady in the 30s. West winds will be breezy, 10 to 25. And then Wednesday night, mainly cloudy and lows drop to 9 above. This is meteorologist with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now it's 26.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show, coming to you from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio, and the program brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your commercial and residential real estate needs, give Linda a call. Have her go to work for you at 989-295-7713. Visit her at The Point, M46 and M47 in Saginaw Township, also home of Cafe 476. With its delicious soups, foods, and beverages. Later on this morning, 10 o'clock, we'll talk to Gilbert Guevara of the Mexican-American Council about vaccinations in the Latino community. On Focus today, McLaren Bay region will be the subject of focus. But for this hour, we're going to start with a well-known name in Michigan. He was the 53rd Attorney General of the state of Michigan, served in Congress for 3 terms, ran for governor, and is the father of someone who is also running with the same name. And the saying used to be, if I remember right, Bill Schuette on duty for you, or something along those lines, because with us this morning, and I guess almost have to say senior rather than junior, Bill Schuette, good morning to you.
Hey, Art, it's great to be with you and on SGW. We've been doing the Art Lewis Show for a long time, and it's just great to be with you. And good morning, Mid-Michigan.
Good morning to you too. So we'll get to the heart of this. Before we're going to talk politics and reminisce a little bit with Bill, but you have an announcement to make, and I guess this is the first time you're going to make the announcement. Is that right?
Well, yeah, and I thought because of our friendship and how you and I have talked about everything from life to politics to policy to Congress to governor, ag director, judge, attorney general, everything in between, we ought to have a good discussion. And this is really the outcome of the fact there's been some new congressional district lines and state House and state Senate district lines, and we can talk about how that got all totally messed up, totally screwed up, unfortunately for many citizens in the state. But I've been asked from time and time again, hey, Bill, are you going to run for this newly crafted 8th congressional district, which, by the way, there's still some litigation going on, which I think will alter the maps across the state. How much it may impact Mid-Michigan, not sure, but so more to come on that, and about which we can discuss. But I've been asked whether I'm going to run for Congress in the 8th district, and the answer is no. I mean, it'd be fun because I like mixing it up with people, and I like going to chicken dinners, whether it's in Frankenmuth or Bay County or Midland or Genesee, what have you. But and I think I would win. I don't say that in a boastful fashion, but this is a district that's turning more Republican all the time, and 2022 is going to be a huge year. I mean, it's going to be the Democrats will suffer the Biden midterm in 2022, like we Republicans were impacted by the midterm of 2018. But that being aside, if I were to run, it would take me away from my priority, Cynthia, my wife Cynthia, my priority is our son's race for state rep. I'm hoping to be one of his chief volunteers, and so is Cynthia. So it would really marginalize my involvement as being a helper to him. He's my public service priority, and I have a number of other issues that I'm working on in the region on flood reduction and dam repair, and that are important to the community. So I'm going to be a great helper as best I know how to lots of folks and our son. And that's the decision. Not that it's Richter scale stuff, but it has to go on. People will need to make decisions. And I thought no better way to have this discussion than with Art Lewis.
So let me ask you this. There were two different questions here. First, the current Congressman, John Molinar, is he going to be able to run in that district?
No, John is going to be moving. If you look at your map, however it looks, he's going to be moving to the west in a new district, the label second district, and at least the present configuration, again subject to some litigation, that is this commission got hijacked by some progressive and they violated the Voting Rights Act, so we do not have two districts that have a majority of African American population, and that's violative of the civil rights laws. I just can't believe it happened, but because it's wrong. And so this new district right now goes from Flint, Genesee County, Midland County, 2/3 of it, Bay and Saginaw County. That's the new, what they call the 8th district.
So it's Dan Kildee.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be Dan Kildee. All right, let me ask you this. Let's put on the futures hat.
Sure.
When are you going to announce for governor?
Oh, jeez. Right now I'm focused on our son's race and flood reduction and dam repair. That's another question out there. It is ripe for a strong candidate to win because, Michigan is a closed state compared to, say, Florida, where there's commercial activity, people. This heaviness in Michigan has caused so many people to be out of work. You couple that with the Biden inflation, the highest inflation in 40 years. We have these open borders that were porous like a sieve. America looks weak and frail right now, sadly, and that's because the administration and its policies have been weak and frail, which means our adversaries, Russia and China, are making very aggressive moves in Asia and in Europe. And, this inflation hurts those who can least afford it the most. Low income, unemployed, trying to break into the workforce. When you have this 8% inflation, it robs people of their savings and their income. And so it's going to be a huge Republican year. So with a strong candidate for governor, we could get Michigan back to work.
Okay, if you don't want that, then how about president? Could you run you for president?
No, hey, listen, thank you.
Looking for opportunities,
Yeah, I know it. I mean, I would be a president of your fan club, that's for sure.
Bill, hang on. I've got to take a break. We're talking to Bill Schuette, who has announced that he's not announcing today. He will not be a candidate for the newly created congressional district. And we will take a break and be back with more with the former Attorney General, the 53rd Attorney General of the state of Michigan. We will be back with Bill after these notes.
Right, but I have practiced law in mid-Michigan for over 3 decades. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you have learned about estate planning, asset protection planning, avoiding nursing home costs, and how to save the family farm. Would you like to understand more about these topics? I'm offering 3 free e-booklets about estate planning, farm succession planning, and Medicaid planning.
To get your free e-booklet, go to jerryriflawyer.com to download any or all of the e-booklets or call 989-790-1461 to request a copy.
My e-booklet, Understanding Medicaid, describes Medicaid, Medicare, and the difference between them. If estate planning is confusing to you, then get my e-booklet, Estate Planning Basics. Helpful guide for your future planning. If you have a farming operation and want to save it for future generations, then get my e-booklet, Estate Planning for Farmers.
If you want any of these free e-booklets, go to jerryriflawyer.com or call 989-790-1461 to request your free copy.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate Urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prosthogenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prosthogenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prosthogenics, call now 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Iris stocks are under pressure. Oil prices are at the highest levels in years. Tensions in the Middle East are a factor, and OPEC says demand for oil was stronger than expected in the last 3 months of last year. Wall Street giant Goldman Sachs says its profits slumped 13% in the recent quarter. Trading revenue declined, though demand for mergers and acquisitions remained brisk. ExxonMobil, the oil and gas giant, says it will cut its carbon emissions to zero by 2050. Officer Darren Wood says the company is developing comprehensive roadmaps to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Food and tea company Hain Celestial is predicting weaker sales in the current quarter. It's blaming inflation, supply chain, and labor challenges. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Puerto Rico is the new go-to destination for investment opportunities, and Impeller is the new online tool that connects investors with innovative on the island. Impeller takes the guesswork out of investing in Puerto Rico, surfacing the insights you need to make informed decisions and empower your investment portfolio. Visit investpr.org/impeller and set up your account today to see what the island has to offer. Impeller, your hub for investment opportunities in Puerto Rico. Powered by Invest Puerto Rico.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite show. Radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Watching TaxSlayer calculate your refund feels like climbing to the apex of a roller coaster.
Here we go!
And flying down the tracks. At maximum refund speed. Start for maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Detroit restaurant just closed abruptly. Michael Simon's Roast Restaurant in the Weston Book Cadillac closed. Highly, highly rated. #1 in Detroit. Did I mention, by the way, the cheapest steak was about $100?
Well, I should have a that too.
Really having some impact. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not taking me there.
Dave and Pat and Shirley, we're over at
Never been
McDonald's.
there.
We're at
Never
McDonald's.
been there. I've
Oh.
never been there either.
Oh.
I've never been there either.
But you know people who have been there.
Yes, that I do. The other reason is you would never spend $100 on a steak. So.
50, maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
100, I don't think so, yeah.
So does that include the sides or?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Better at least the pack come with an Iron City beer next day. Then maybe it's worth $100.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on 100.5 and 790 News. EW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show,
Democrats say parents should have no say in their kids' education.
in other news, it's January.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you here on WSGW and in conversation with Bill Schuette, the non-candidate. I don't ever remember being able to say that before.
Yeah, I know it's hard to roll off the tongue. That's funny.
But you know, I've known you a long time, Bill, and you absolutely love politics, don't you?
My calling has always been public service. I like politics. I like service, solving problems, and providing solutions for people, both big and small. So yeah, I really do.
So how did we get where we are today with the most divided political scene we could ever have? I've said for a long time, I would favor a third political party, and I would call it the Common Sense Party. There was a recent survey that showed, there are a percentage of Americans who identify as liberal from the left, and there are a percentage of Americans who identify from the right, but the vast majority live in the middle. What are we missing today? Well, how do we get here?
I think it's really a good question and a thoughtful one. It's broken trust. I think people don't trust the government now. In part, it's because some of our leaders, both in the state of Michigan and across the country, they do as I say, but they don't follow their own rules. And whether it was, masking or travel or this or that, it's kind of like, do as I say, but I'm going to do what I want to do. I think that causes broken trust. I think that the communication and the ever changing, issues of what's effective or not effective on COVID, how it was rolled out. And there's plenty of blame to go across here. Frankly, it doesn't solve any problem, other it stirs people up. But it's an issue of broken trust. So I think that people need to start communicating in a way to bring the country together instead of dividing it more fully or dividing it more. Frankly, I think some of the speeches that came out of Atlanta last week were very divisive. For those who want to read stuff, I think Peggy Noonan's article in the Wall Street Journal, and she's no rabid Republican conservative, but how she described the Biden speech of dividing people, adding more polarization in it, and if you don't agree with them, then you're no good, and your opinion has value. Doesn't have any value is wrong. I think it's time that we really need to be better listeners. I think we need more grace. I need to practice more grace. I think that we ought to give others more grace because people are nervous, fearful. COVID is a serious issue, right? But we also can't shut down the economy and live in rabbit holes. We're going to have to manage and go through this. But if we could talk in a more tempered fashion, just like you and I are, we're not always going to agree on everything. But we have to take little steps with our families and then those with whom we work. And I think more grace and understanding and not taking names if someone doesn't agree with you is a good start. We got to repair the broken trust. It's going to take some time.
It's interesting. You mentioned the speech in Atlanta, and it seemed to me he made that speech, and you're right, it was a very divisive speech, but it was aimed at two people, Manchin and Sinema.
Right.
They're his obstacles. Those are the only two that have the sway right now. I said a long time ago, Manchin's probably the most powerful person in Congress, and it's worked out that way. And I agree with them because I don't want to see the filibuster rule changed every time somebody has a whim.
And for our audience, Senators Sinema and Manchin have opposed changing the filibuster rule in the Senate, which frankly, what that does is it helps the minority not being squashed like a bug, whether you're Republican or Democrat. And there are moments in history on each party where, but for the filibuster, we would be an autocratic place. And I think there are more senators who agree with Sinema and Manchin, but don't want to get the abuse that those two have received. So they're kind of like the the guard and the tackle in a football team blocking to support the filibuster, while there are some other players on that field who agree with them, but they don't want to get the abuse all the time.
Let's go back to Michigan for a moment. We, the people, decided we didn't want legislative gerrymandering, and we created this commission, theoretically a neutral commission, 4 left, 4 right, 5 independents, quote. Has it worked out that way?
No, sadly, this is not what people voted for in Proposal 2, where we were trying to get away from the political gerrymandering. But now what happened, you had about 8 progressive, aggressive, blatantly political folks doing their version of gerrymandering. It was pure gerrymandering, to coin a phrase. So now you have 8 people drawing the lines for a state of 10 million folks. In the past, we had state legislatures do it. Sadly, it didn't work that way. It's a travesty, and there'll be some litigation as a result of that.
So what do you think will change? First of all, will the litigation be successful? We don't know that. But what's as a lawyer, you look at it, what's your feeling on it?
Two issues. One, VRA, Voting Rights Act. I believe that was violated by drawing districts in the city of Detroit that under federal law passed in the 60s, still on the books, that required minority, very specifically African American districts to have that have majority people of Black citizens should have an opportunity for Black representation. That's been violated. They cut Detroit up like a pretzel, sadly. And then on the state level, it was not supposed to have political preferences. It was supposed to be communities of interest. Here in Midland, a more rural area with Gladwin, where the community of interest, the key responsibility is fixing the dams and having flood reduction, is different from the city of Flint. And hey, Flint's I know it well. It's a fine, proud city, but their key issues are housing, education, auto-related jobs. And so now they've bungled that. And so that is they're trying to have political preferences and weight decisions and how they draw the lines, which is a violation of the state constitution. So those 2 key issues, state and federal law, are part of the litigation. I think the Supreme Court in the end will tell the commission to rewrite the lines. Now, how they do it, who knows? But sadly, it's Shanghai. It has been hijacked, unfortunately.
It's going to have to be fast-tracked, though, through the courts, because 2022 is sitting upon us.
Yeah, it is. It's sitting upon us, and that's one reason I made a decision that those who might want to run in this newly crafted district, they can, get on with it.
Yeah. All right, hang on. I'm going to take a break. We're talking to Bill Schuette, talking a little politics and all those good things, and we will be back with him here on WSGW. Let me take a moment to tell you about my friends at the Thalen Auto Group, and you've heard me talk about them for years now, touting the outstanding lineup of cars they have at their dealerships here on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. But think of this. Almost every time that Thalen sells one of those new cars, they take in a pre-owned vehicle. They inspect it, bring it up to their standards, and put it out on the lot. And with that fact, Thalen offers you a tremendous choice of pre-owned vehicles. So if you're looking to move up, but new cars may be out of the question, talk to the Thalen Auto Group in Bay City, your one-stop shop for fully inspected used vehicles. Hundreds of them to choose from on Euclid Avenue in Bay City. More selection than any other location in the Tri-Cities because you got all those dealerships side by side. Also, shop certified pre-owned vehicles from Audi, Volkswagen, Subaru, Mazda, Honda, Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. So don't spend days going from dealership to find a good selection. Just stop in at the Thalen Auto Group, take a look at their selection, or go online. Choose from the Thalen inventory online at thinkthalen.com. Back with more with Bill Schuette after these notes.
Have you been considering a virtual education for your child? Bangor Township Virtual Schools offers an alternative learning environment for your child. Since 2015, Bangor Township Virtual School has provided hundreds of students K through 12th grade in the Saginaw Bay area with a high quality and accredited public education. The School of Choice window is open January 7th through January 21st. For more information or enrolling your child, go to bangorschools.org. Bangor Township Virtual Schools, the virtual education experts.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that tons of half-off deals going on right now from Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palettes, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
On our first date, we had masks on and kept 6 feet apart. Now we're a lot closer.
Just like Cliff and Deb, thousands of singles over 50 found their perfect match on Silver Singles last year.
I feel like I'm 20 years old again, and I'm pretty sure she feels the same way.
Rediscover the magic of dating with Silver Singles, the exclusive community for singles over 50. Sign up today and receive daily matches you won't want to miss at silversingles.com/radio. silversingles.com/radio.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
We're growing fast, and I stopped working weekends, thanks to how much smoother everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds NetSuite. Over 27,000 businesses already use NetSuite. For the new year, NetSuite has a new financing program for those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/radar. Head to netsuite.com/radar for this special one-of-a-kind financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/radar.
Tom Sullivan.
Why am I complaining about Joe Biden and the deficit when Donald Trump was fine with the deficit? And so was Barack Obama, and so was George W. Every one of them kept growing it and growing it. Don't give me this Republicans are fiscal conservatives. They're not. They're not at all. And Democrats, of course, are not. I say that the party. Now, I know a lot of Democrats that they don't want their money wasted.
Weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
You are in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Here we are back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, talking to the gentleman who held the office of Attorney General in the state of Michigan as the 53rd Attorney General. And I bring that up specifically, Bill. You were in office when all of the charges were brought against the multitude of individuals involved in the Flint water crisis. Mm-hmm. As you look back, any regrets, or were you satisfied with all the charges that were brought? And how do you think it's all going to turn out?
Mm-hmm. Well, I have no regrets about my advocacy for the citizens of Flint. We had a great team, Art. The former head of the Detroit FBI was our lead guy, named Andy Arena. The Todd Flood was an experienced trial lawyer. David Layton was key part of this, the prosecutor in Genesee, a great friend of mine. So it was not partisan, it was nonpartisan, with the skill of a Genesee County prosecutor, David Layton, with the other team we assembled. we were very methodical, reviewed the evidence and the jury instructions and the elements of a crime, and if they all fit, we filed charges, and that's how we approached it. I'm an optimist. I hope that the citizens of Flint get the justice that they deserve.
There was a lot of discussion at the time when the involuntary manslaughter charges were brought forth against a number of individuals. How did you arrive at that?
That again was the process where we had all the evidence and the jury instructions and the elements of the crime reviewed by David Layton, as I say, a Democrat, which is fine with me. I'm just saying this is a talented guy in Flint, in Genesee County, and the head of the FBI, our trial team, a number of other judges who reviewed them, retired judges who reviewed them as well. So we had a strong team, and when all this fit, and match the evidence, elements of the crime, then you file charges. That's just general prosecutorial work. That's how we approached it. And, these are not easy decisions. They never are. But I was sworn to uphold the Constitution and defend it, and that's what I did.
Let's move on to another area of interest for you, because you're involved, and that's the floods and the dams.
Yeah.
If you were Attorney General today, would there be charges coming forth?
This is an issue really of how you rebuild and repair. That's the way I would approach it. There are private lawsuits ongoing, I know, in federal court, and lots of them. But with respect to the state of Michigan, I think the responsibility now is, okay, how do we, with some of this infrastructure money that's coming from Washington into Michigan, how do you first repair the dams, and then how do you stop flood reduction in Midland and Gladwin in the region? We've had 3 major floods, and we would have had a big flood in 20, even if the dams had not been breached because of the rainfall. But because of growth in construction, we see this water getting into the Tittabawassee, Tobacco, Pine, and Chippewa rivers, for those of you who are looking at a map, more quickly than we did in the past. And so if we would have solved this problem in 86, we wouldn't have had, when the first flood occurred, we wouldn't have had this problem. I think a lot of people thought this would happen once in a lifetime. I know my mom got out of her house in a canoe back in 86, and I'm sure that her husband, Carl Verstacker, good guy, smart guy, said, Esther, this is only going to happen once in a lifetime. Well, he was a smart guy, and it only did happen once in his lifetime, but in others it happened more often. And so for resiliency, for growth, economic opportunity, the lakes have to be repaired because it's a big job, tourism, tax revenue issue. Wherever you live in Midland and Gladwin, when it rains, you can't live in fear that you're going to get washed out. The hospital, Northwood University, we need to fix this. And so I'm involved in that with a group of leaders in town. And the point is how do you work with our federal and state officials to get some resources and build areas where you can slow the water down, maybe like the Shiawassee Flats or detention reservoirs that we're working with the Nature Conservancy, a great environmental group, on how to fix these things. And it's important for the region's future.
It's important for mine. I live on the Tittabawassee River, right across the street from it, in Thomas Township. And when the dams broke, I had 10 feet of water over the road. So
that's exactly right.
I'm listening.
Well, you're a stakeholder in this then. And this will be a community effort that will include, when we're done, I think, this is just an opinion, Midland, Gladwin, Saginaw, Isabella, Gratiot counties on what do we do, because all these rivers come from the north and the west into Midland, right at the Tridge. And how do you slow this water down? If we can keep the flooding to, say, 30 or 31 feet, that would be a positive thing. You're not going to eliminate flooding, but you want to reduce the frequency and the severity. That's the goal. That's the mission.
All right, hang on. Got to take a break. We'll be back, finish up as we chat with Bill Schuette. More ahead on the Art Lewis Show.
Did you know we lose up to 20% of our home's heat through windows and doors? Let the experts at Westside Decorating show you how to keep your home cozy with insulating shades and draperies. This is Sonia. Call us today at 989-793-6182 for your in-home consultation. We'll bring samples to you or visit our showroom and see our new floor. Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
Puerto Rico is the new go-to destination for investment opportunities, and Impeller is the new online tool that connects investors with innovative projects seeking capital on the island. Impeller takes the guesswork out of investing in Puerto Rico, surfacing the insights you need to make informed or your investment portfolio. Visit investpr.org/impeller and set up your account today to see what the island has to offer. Impeller, your hub for investment opportunities in Puerto Rico. Powered by Invest Puerto Rico.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with the Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom ability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, country, techno, or techno country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Tune in for Michigan Wolverines basketball. Tonight, the Wolverines host the Maryland Terrapins in a crucial Big Ten battle in Ann Arbor. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Welcome back as we hold a conversation with Bill Schuette, former Attorney General, former Congressman, and many other things in his political career, Department of Agriculture. Let me just finish up with the dam situation and the flooding situation. I have said quite openly I was a little miffed when some of the suggestions came forth that the property owners were going to get taxed for rebuilding the dams, at least to a certain degree. I thought that was hitting people when they were down. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Well, I think we're attempting to do is, thanks to some great efforts there's a guy named Dave Kepler who's really helped working with a group called the Four Lakes Task Force to try to have a balanced approach on this. Thanks to, Senator Jim Thomas, Annette Glenn, Jason Wentworth, the Speaker of the House, were obtaining some funds through the state to help repair the dams that will really take the brunt out of the major cost on repairing the dams. There'll be some participation, which everyone's got to have some pitch in on this, but the brunt of it will be shielded, and certainly there are certain property pieces of property have different values than others, and so there has to be an adjustment made. But I think it will be a balanced approach, and I tip my hat to the Four Lakes Task Force. They've done a good job, in my opinion, to reach out, communicate with folks, and in the end, I think it'll be a balanced, fair effort. Repair the dams so we can get property values up, employment activities on the lake up. This is a vacation spot. A lot of folks from southeastern Michigan come to Wixom, Sanford, Secord lakes for a vacation and investment. So we want to make sure that happens in the future.
So if we look at the shooting crystal ball, how long before those dams are back in operation and we start to see water return to the lakes?
I think a couple, 2.5 years, something like that, maybe three. But it's going to happen. And again, thanks to the leadership of so many people in the region, from Gladwin and Midland County, a cross section. It's important for lots of reasons, and frankly, the region's reputation. We're not going to be a place where you get drowned out, and so you kind of, turn your back and walk away. Look at Sanford today. Sanford's been rebuilt by some key efforts, and it's like that broken window theory. Once you do something, then others respond in kind. And so I'm optimistic about what will happen in Sanford and Gladwin, Beaverton, places like that.
So let's move on to another topic. You are a non-candidate for office, but you're living vicariously through your son. Good thing he's got a G in his middle name, or nobody know which one of you was running.
Right. And so I give him points for honesty. We're not trying to fool anybody here. He's got the same last name, but he's his own man.
So what brought him to this point? I mean, he had pretty good gigs.
But he was an intelligence officer for the Department of Defense for 2.5 years, and briefed generals and chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff's staff. He was in D.C. For the Defense Department, and in Mexico, and also in Kuwait for 6 months there. And where he was first stationed, it would look like the moisture farm from Star Wars, just desert everywhere. But so he worked very hard and accomplished himself as an intelligence officer. Moved back to town, worked for our local company Dow for almost a year. And this is on his own. He has service in his DNA. Now he's going to have to earn it. No one's going to give it to him. He will work harder than anybody I know, and on any type of political race, particularly a local race like State House. It's on knocking on your door. So he announced last week, and it was about 10 degrees, and went back to his condo that he bought with his own money, and put on some long underwear and started getting signatures in the cold. And he got 20 signatures that day, I think.
And so, Papa, how are you going to be involved?
Well, right now, he's running a startup operation. You start this campaign, and you have volunteers. So his mom, my wife Cynthia, and I, are volunteers, and you don't lick as many envelopes as you used to in 1984 because so much is done electronically. But we'll help him out, and that's really the priority. And that was really the focus of my decision not to run for a congressional seat. That would have been fun. I would have won, and it would have been spirited, obviously. But this isn't about a notch on my political gun belt. Rather, it's I want to help our son, and then I have some responsibilities also here in the community. But I didn't want to distract from our son's effort, and that's what led me to my decision. And he's gonna win, but by hard work and building his own set of issues about how you move the region forward.
I've known you a long time. It's probably a more difficult decision for you to say you're not going to run than to say you will run.
There's a lot of truth to that, yes, because I like to solve problems. I see the country now, and I see the state, and we really need to move it forward. But I'm confident that some other fine candidates will emerge. And help us, get Michigan back to work and help America get back to work.
And just in conclusion, how long before we see a resolve of the district lines? How long will it take to make its way through the courts?
That's a really good question. I bet you maybe the end of the month, mid-February. You can't fiddle around on this because it's not fair to people. I think that's kind of the timeline in my opinion.
Well, Bill, this has been fun this morning.
Yeah,
sitting down and chatting with you. We'll have to do it again if the political climate heats up. How can it get any hotter? We'll have to sit down and do this again. Thanks for spending the hour with us. We appreciate it.
Well, it'd be fun. Lewis and Schuette. That's not bad. Is that like Martin and Lewis, or is that like?
Okay, we'll do that.
We could go on the road. We do all right, man.
All right, let's talk about it. All right, Bill. Listen, thanks, and have a blessed day. Thanks for being with us.
You bet. Great to be with you on SGW, and thank you, listeners, as well. Thanks, Art. Take care.
You bet. Bye now. Bill Schuette, 53rd Attorney General of the state of Michigan, a non-candidate for Congress. And we will take a pause and then be back to close out this hour of the Art Lewis Show.
It's time to check out United Financial Credit Union and experience the credit union difference. From youth accounts to retirement accounts, we can help you with all of your financial needs. Here at United Financial Credit Union, we've been committed to our communities since 1964 and strive to provide long-term financial stability to our members. Whether you need a loan or are looking for a safe place for your savings, you will always be treated as our top priority. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to open an account. It's time for you to check out your local friendly credit union and see how we will put you first.
Must meet eligibility requirements federally insured by the N.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Valley community.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Real. You gotta try it. With Straight Talk, you can get our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month. Now with unlimited high-speed data, plus 5 gigabytes hotspot data, and no contract, with nationwide 5G on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot for your data when you can get unlimited for a whole lot less? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G cable. Availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
The Art Lewis Show, weekday mornings at 9 on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. Our thanks to Bill Schuette for spending some time with us this morning. Coming up next hour, we're going to start by talking to Gilbert Guevara from the Mexican American Council. Part of the conversation will revolve around vaccinations in the Latino community. All of that coming up here on WSGW, and it happens right after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios.
This is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Senate Democrats are ready to begin debate on a new voting rights bill, despite almost certain defeat. Massachusetts' Elizabeth Warren tells the Late Show Stephen Colbert it's important to bring the matter to the fore.
State legislatures all around the country that are controlled by Republicans are doing everything they can to keep people from voting.
Two Democrats, Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, say they support the bill but won't agree to alter the filibuster in order to get it passed without any Republican support. Airlines are warning commerce will grind to a halt if AT&T and Verizon are allowed to roll out new 5G ports. Correspondent Errol Barnett is at Reagan National.
5G technology kicks in at airports across the country tomorrow, and airlines are currently warning that interference on its C-band spectrum could impact close to half of commercial and cargo flights.
COVID cases still skyrocketing in cities up and down California. In Oakland, hundreds of students are boycotting classes today. Alexandra Ibarra says the district should go back to online learning if there aren't enough COVID tests tests to go around.
I want parents to be able to send their kids to school knowing that they could return safe.
COVID cases in New York City continue a quick decline. Officials in Tonga say at least 3 people are confirmed dead after Saturday's massive underwater volcano eruption. At least one small island has been destroyed. CBS's Ian Lee.
Days after the eruption, we really still don't have a clear picture of how the island nation and its are doing. The relief flights are still unable to make it because of a layer of ash that covers the island and, crucially, a vital runway at the main airport. Locals were reported to be sweeping it clear, but aren't expected to be done until tomorrow.
Britain's embattled prime minister is once again trying to walk back a major pandemic faux pas. CBS's Vicky Barker from London. Another day.
I do humbly apologise to people for
another apology.
misjudgments that were made.
Of sorts. Boris Johnson told Parliament he didn't know that party on his office lawn broke COVID rules, but now a disgruntled former aide says Johnson was warned not to allow it to go ahead. Prime ministers found to have lied to Parliament are expected to resign. New Yorkers who were happy to show former Mayor de Blasio the door don't have to worry about a posted a video to Twitter from outside his home in Brooklyn.
No, I am not going to be running for governor of New York State, but I am going to devote every fiber of my being to fight inequality in the state of New York.
The Dow is tanking. Right now it's off 555 points. S&P down 71. This is CBS News.
Looking for quality candidates this new year? Look no further than Indeed. Our new video interview tool takes the hassle out of virtual hiring. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Players Lounge at the Bay Valley Resort. You're going to get a $20 gift certificate for only $10. Their appetizers include fried zucchini, chicken wings, and please don't sleep on their bacon-wrapped shrimp. You can also get burgers, their smokehouse chicken sandwich, and if you're in, they've got you covered. Do yourself a favor and head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. When you fill your prescriptions at Walgreens, you can track the progress of your order in real time. Know the price of your prescriptions before you go to pick them up. And anytime you have questions, use Pharmacy Chat to ask an expert 24 hours a day. Help with your meds from Walgreens. Side effects may include breathing a little easier because your prescription stress melted away. Learn more on the Walgreens app.
This price isn't final. This is an estimated price based on your insurance coverage.
I'm one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. I'm living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with it for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com.
Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 28 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. A report from Michigan's Auditor General shows the Whitmer administration dramatically underreported the number of COVID deaths occurring in long-term care facilities such as nursing homes. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
The report comes after representatives from the Mackinac Center for Public Policy in Midland testified in front of the Michigan House Oversight Committee last June requesting a full account of the state's COVID-19 long-term care deaths. In July, it was announced that the Auditor General would review those deaths. The total number of deaths so far in all long-term care facilities has shown to be about 42% higher than previously reported to and by the state, while deaths in facilities that fall under the state reporting rules were found to be 24% higher than previously indicated. The found more than 8,000 of Michigan's COVID deaths were linked to long-term care facilities as of July 2021. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
The public libraries of Saginaw and the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services have partnered to offer free at-home COVID-19 test kits to area residents. The library system received 300 kits, which are available on a first-come, first-served basis. Up to 5 kits per household are available. Further kits will become available as necessary. Library systems in Calhoun, Clare, Newaygo, and Oceana counties, plus the city of Detroit, have also received the free test kits for distribution to their respective communities. WSGW News Time coming up on 10:07.
Planning your home improvement projects for 2022? Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been helping their Great Lakes Bay region clients for 64 years with large projects like remodeling a kitchen or bathroom, replacing, installing central air. Maybe your project is smaller, like a water heater or sump pump replacement, updating a kitchen faucet and garbage disposal. No project is too big or too small. Start by visiting the showroom where you will find products to fit your budget, design idea, and mechanical need. Reamer is proud to carry American-made products like Bradford white water heaters, American Standard heating and cooling equipment, Birch custom cabinets, and Cambria quartz. When you work with Reamer, you'll get expert knowledge and advice. Installation is completed by state licensed installers. So start your new year home improvement project with a visit to Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Call 989-792-8738 or visit reamerplumbing.com.
WSGW News Time is 10:07. State health officials say we could reach the peak in COVID cases at the end of the month, but one local health expert is not so sure. Here's more from Dr. Deanna Lights.
According to models, this at the end of the month. Dr. Matthew Sims is Director of Infectious Disease Research for Beaumont Health.
That's based off of what happened in South Africa and England. England's usually about a month in front of us.
But Dr. Sims says Michigan may not follow the projected models.
Maybe Omicron will have changed what was going on here in Michigan to begin with. But if you remember, we've been going up steadily since July, right? So this is a surge on top of that. We may go back to that, or we may, because of Omicron and, Delta being overtaken by Omicron, we may go down, like far down. We just don't know.
And that was Dr. Deanna Lights reporting. Jury trials are being paused in West Michigan's 20th Judicial Circuit Court and Probate Court in Ottawa County because of a high rate of COVID-19.
1 in 3 COVID tests are coming back positive right now, which is particularly alarming. It's really, there's a high chance that someone who might be contagious and not realize it might be coming in if we brought in a large group to choose a jury.
Circuit Court Administrator Susan Franklin says they talked with an epidemiologist with the county health department in making the decision to pause jury trials until February 1st. A Saginaw man could spend several years in prison after being charged with looking at child pornography online. Police say 52-year-old Martin Rogers turned himself in during an investigation into his online activity. Police seized digital evidence from his home after it was discovered he allegedly viewed child sexually abusive material on the internet. Rogers is charged with aggravated possession of child sexually abusive material, distributing or promoting child sexually abusive activity, and using a computer. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 10:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Cameras from Menards. Swan cameras connect to your Wi-Fi so you can monitor activity from your smartphone. And they work with Google Assistant and Alexa. Save big on Swan security cameras. Good through January 23rd. Right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
All right, welcome back to Fat Fingers Art Lewis Show. I'm sorry about that, folks. I moved a piece of equipment, and in doing so, I set off a chain of events, which shouldn't have happened, but they did. Anyway, welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. At some point during this hour, we were hoping to talk to Gilbert Guevara from the Mexican American Council in Saginaw about the importance of vaccinations. If Mr. Guevara gets with us, we will be, of course, happy to chat with him. In the meantime, We will have open phones for the hour, and you can give us a call at 989-752-6111. And, of course, the toll-free number inside the state of Michigan is 866-790-WSGW. That's how you get in touch with us. It's that simple. If you're outside the state of Michigan, call the 989 number because most of the carriers don't charge you roaming and long distance and all that stuff anymore. And I understand now that Gilbert is on the line with us. So we say good morning to Gilbert Guevara. Gilbert, good morning. Gilbert, are you there?
Yes.
There you are. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. I think, and before we get into the topic of vaccinations in the Latino community, tell us about the Mexican American Council. Give us a little overview of what the Mexican American Council is.
Okay. I wasn't there when it started, but first of all, the Mexican American Council is a nonprofit 501c3 organization. It became a council back in 1990, and in 2000, I guess I started to volunteer. But the Mexican American Council is a community organization that works with, and at one time they had a senior citizens program in the building at 1537 South Washington Avenue. It's a old mansion. Back in the day, they purchased it from the city at a reasonable price. I think I was told that price was $1. Father Joe Schabel was kind of spearheading the council along with Bobby De Leon, who's the president of the council. And some of the things that it's done over the years, again, as I mentioned earlier, they had a senior citizens program, Hispanic senior citizens program. They did some work with youth, Hispanic youth, especially in the dropout area. They became involved more with schools, again, looking at the Latino community within the school systems and encouraging these young folks to continue their education. And over the years, I got a call from Father Joe Schabel, and he asked me if I could volunteer and do immigration work at the center there. And I said, I can volunteer and do it. I said, I'll be on call whenever folks need me. He said, that's fine. He said, if you need an office, I got one for you. Don't worry about that. We have a location. So goal really is to get involved in the community in terms of the issues that face our community. And, you know, COVID is one of them. Education is the other. Our seniors are getting older. Those there were baby boomers are now senior citizens. And of course, we're looking at those folks in terms of how they can help us in terms of the recruitment. So it's that kind. And we've done some Christmas projects for those that needed assistance. Annually, when they had the lights for the city, we would open up the center, the location, and have a walkthrough with residents to come see the council and what we're about. And of course, to take a look on the inside of this fabulous mansion that was purchased at the council back in the day. So that's the, you know, kind of a thumbnail sketch of what we do. My involvement, like I said, is primarily doing immigration work. I've done it for 20 years with the Catholic Diocese of Saginaw. I was an accredited representative back then when I was working. I'm retired now. And so that's my prime responsibility is to assure those folks that need the documentation or need some kind of direction in terms of how to obtain, if not what's involved, what's the cost, that type of thing. So that's just a small description of the council as far as Saginaw is concerned.
I know you. You're never going to retire. So Gilbert, let's talk about COVID and vaccinations in the Latino community. How are we doing?
As you know, we had 3 dynamic young ladies that spoke at the CAC breakfast regarding COVID, regarding the hospitalization, regarding how we stand with the health department here in our county. But the unfortunate thing with all this good information that they provided for us this past Friday was excellent. But one thing that is missing, of course, and not only my opinion, but others, is a breakdown of who's getting the shots. How many blacks are getting these shots? How many Latinos are getting these shots? Asians, Native Americans, etc. Those kind of statistics are not part of who's getting shots. I've talked to the community, and they felt that the CDC was too fast in trying to come up with a vaccine that's going to cure you. And so they were very hesitant in terms of, getting the shots. I have one family member who hasn't had the shot simply because she doesn't feel comfortable with the government is saying. With all the evidence that we see on television with folks that are in hospitals, folks that recover and giving testimonies in terms of how they feel. I had a family member pass away from COVID. It was unfortunate. He was a young man. Left the family behind. That was very hard for his wife and his children. It was very hard for us as far as family is concerned, especially extended family. So the reluctancy is somewhat still there, but we're trying to, again, encourage not only parents, but we're encouraging parents now to take a look at the children, because we know that this is children and getting Latino children also vaccinated. Again, I don't think the lady spoke very much about children when they made the presentation, how that's going in Saginaw County, how it's going with any ethnic group as far as shots are concerned. But those are the kinds of things I'm hearing in our community. But at the same time, we're encouraging people to take and get these shots. And one of the ways we're doing it is through the radio, especially the Spanish-speaking radios. We're going to be putting out billboards, Art. You're going to be seeing them in the city of Saginaw. We got posters out. We're going to do some television to, again, encourage Latinos in Saginaw County, whoever sees these things, to encourage them to get these shots, especially the reluctancy that they have. I mean, it's been 2 years, Art, and we know what the statistics are because we see them constantly on television, national television, and for some reason, we still don't believe what they see. It's unfortunate. I think we need, in my opinion, we need those folks that have had COVID, that were hospitalized and recovered, to get testimony. Testimony in the sense, how did I feel? Was I worried about, am I going to make it? Was I thinking about my family? I'm sure all these things come to play when the person does have COVID, when they're in the hospital, and more so when they recover. Because I met one gentleman who recovered from COVID, and man, he said to me, it's great to be alive again. And I thought to myself, your experience is what people need to hear to have that kind of comment. So, the reluctancy is still out there, Art.
Is it as bad as it was, though? I mean, when you talk to members of the Hispanic community now, are you getting the same reluctant feeling, or has there been a shift in opinion?
In my opinion, there is a I wish the shift would be really like a tidal wave. Everybody says, yes, we're doing it. Yes. With that kind of, encouragement by folks. But again, there are still folks that are reluctant. Reasons are many. Again, it goes back to the government. It goes back to how fast these shots of all of a sudden say it's a cure. But I believe that there is a shift. I believe that there is folks that are saying, and we've done these things in Spanish as well, to encourage folks to say, hey, this is something that's really important, not only to you, but your family. And I think folks are starting to see it. So, yes, there is a shift. I think more folks are coming forth. And, we're having them at our churches where they can come in and get their shots. As you know, Art, they're drive-throughs now. We drive through, get your shot, and move on with your life.
Well, you mentioned the government, and I think the CDC it's not just the Hispanic community. They've confused everyone. And I think the message coming out of Washington has been confusing. And it's no wonder why people aren't sure.
And I agree. I just get too many people who say, why do I have to do what the government says I have to do, and this is the best thing for me? You hear a lot about listen to the scientists, listen to those that are actually in the labs, who are actually looking at creating a good, whatever you want to call it. So when I do get the shot, that I know I'm going to be okay. I think in this day and time, people are reluctant to listen to government. I think they're waiting. And I don't know, it's just something about government that there's a hesitation to move forward when the government says move forward.
Yeah. Well, listen, I wish you well in this fight. And, we're here if you need to get the message out anytime. You can join us here on the show. And
appreciate that very much, Art.
We hope that that the community, not just the Hispanic community, but all communities,
exactly
take note. I'm not a big fan of mandates, and I've told people before, when I want medical advice, I don't turn to a talk show host or a politician. I turn to my doctor, and I think that's what they ought to do. They ought to talk to their doctors and get their doctor's opinion on it and follow the advice.
And I think that's what folks are doing, especially with children. I've had parents tell me, I'm not going to a health department. I'm going straight to my doctor and let my doctor tell me about my children getting shots. And I say to them, that's the right thing to do. You have to feel comfortable because no parent wants to lose a child. That's very devastating for families when they lose a child. Yes, it is.
Absolutely. All right, Gilbert. Well, listen, keep up the good fight, my friend, and we will talk to you again down the road.
Appreciate you having me on, and thank you for all your years of service, Art. My goodness, for this community, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Gilbert, and appreciate what you do too. Thanks a lot.
All righty.
Talk to you down the road. Bye-bye now.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Gilbert Cuevera from the Mexican American Council, and we thank him for his time this morning. Open phones for the remainder of the hour, so give us a call, chat with us here on WSGW. I want to chat with you right now about my insurance agent, Tom Soreski. And Tom and I been together for quite a number of years. I've been an Allstate customer since 1974, and he represents Allstate. And I'm happy with Allstate. They've always been there for me. But more importantly, my relationship with the agent. Tom and his staff are knowledgeable, good listeners. They always provide me with the advice and the plans needed to fit my situation, and that is exactly what they'll do for you. And now, let me first tell you where his agency is located. 6185 Tittabawassee Road in Saginaw. Or you can call Tom at 989-497-0300. 989-497-0300. Now, take note. Tom's agency is in search of 2 additional highly motivated full-time professional employees. The agency is up 26% again this year, no end in sight, creating an immediate need to increase his staff. No insurance experience is required for the right candidate. Tom will provide the training. If you are professional, goal-oriented, and self-driven to excel, and you're looking for a new career opportunity to work for an agency that cares for its clients and its employees, update your resume and give Tom a call to schedule an interview today. Again, 989-497-0300. Remember, you're in good hands with Allstate. You're in even better hands with the Sureski Agency. Tom Sureski.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you in your separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open sharply lower. Interest rates on treasuries have been rising, keeping stocks under pressure. Also, Goldman Sachs reported a weaker quarter and its earnings were lower than Wall Street was expecting. Gaming company Activision Blizzard is being sold to Microsoft. The Journal says the deal is valued at $68.7 billion. The news comes on that Activision fired or pushed out more than 36 employees and disciplined about 40 others since July as part of efforts to address accusations of sexual harassment and other misconduct. Kohl's shares are higher. Its major shareholders, Macellum Advisors, urged the department store chain to make major changes or sell the business. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Biden's massive spending plan has expanded America's money supply and taken money out of your fight back against runaway inflation by sheltering your IRA or 401k with gold through Birch Gold Group. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I'm proud to be a customer of Birch Gold. Join me. Birch Gold has created a free info kit on protecting your retirement with gold in a tax-sheltered account. Just text the words SHELTER to 989898. Text SHELTER to 989898 and learn how to shelter your IRA or 401k with gold.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
I like fresh eggs as much as the next guy, but maybe free-range chickens in the office wasn't a great idea.
We should just use Easy Cater. Breakfast, lunch, treats, on time, and as ordered.
And I bet they never preened their feathers in the conference room without reserving it first! There's a clipboard outside the door. You put your name.
It's not that hard, guys.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but Easy Cater just does. Food for work, on time, and as ordered from over 82,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometer accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
Perhaps you heard the Star Wars franchise is continuing, though no longer with George Lucas. J.J. Abrams is going to be directing the next set of Star Wars movies. The next one is due in 2015, and word is out that have started to be announced of how directors are looking to cast those who will participate as characters in the movie. So for the next Star Wars franchise movie, here are some of the roles they're looking for. A late teen female who's independent, has a good sense of humor, and is fit. A young 20-something male, witty and smart. Fit, but not traditionally good looking. Well, now there's a role I could fit. A 70-something male with strong opinions, tough demeanor, also doesn't need to be particularly fit.
There's a role for Art Lewis. Art Lewis. They just described him to a T. Perfect fit.
Your Paula's a weak old man. The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. Join us Sundays at 1 p.m.
when we'll take you behind the mitten, and together we'll help discover your next great Michigan adventure.
That's 1 p.m. Sundays right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, played that morning team memory. I forgot. It's a memory I don't want. All right, we're back with you, and we're going to go to our phones now. And waiting for us up first is Bill in Cass City. Bill, good morning.
Well, good morning, Art. How are you doing?
We're doing well, thanks.
Well, good. Your program, and there's one thing out here that I think people are not, they may be aware of, and that may be the crux of our problem. Okay, we are not being told the truth about any of this vaccine, of any of this variants or anything else. And two things that I've just had happen in my family. The first one was we have a family that we know, family members of mine, the three of them in the family have COVID as we speak. There is no contact tracing. There is no nothing. Everybody do what you want to do. You come back in 5 days. If you have it, fine. If you don't, you're going to get over it. Just come on back any old time. The second one was yesterday on the news. I was watching the national news, and they were talking about counterfeit or fake M95 masks. And they were telling about how to recognize them and what to do and one thing and another. And I may have this wrong, but one of the masks goes behind your ears like he has today. The other one goes behind your neck. When they were talking about this, I believe that the fake M95, and I could be wrong, went behind the ears. That is not the one you want, the one that goes behind your neck and behind your head.
Okay, hang on a second now. Hang on a minute now, because I want to make sure that we provide accurate information and not bad information. There are two different kinds of masks. There's an N95 and there's a K95. And one of them has straps that go behind your head, and the other has straps that go around your ear. And they will tell you that the straps that go behind your head are the preferred straps because it seals the mask a lot better.
Right. And they were talking
So
about
I just want to point out that just because it has ear loops doesn't mean it's fake.
Well, it was they were talking about the fake, and then they were also talking about the lesser of two evils. In other words, this one's not as good as that, and they showed the code on the box that,
right,
everything. And I was watching this, and here was the gentleman that was talking about this. Now, if you want the best mask and you're trying to get people to do this, wouldn't you think you'd have it on as like a show and tell, like, here's what you do? Nope, we had the one that went behind the ears. And I'm sitting there saying, really? This doesn't take a genius to say, folks, you're shoveling something that you shouldn't shovel, because we have to. I'm an ex-combat vet from Vietnam. You can't let it scare you to death, but you have to respect it. You have to understand it, and you have to respect it and do what you need to do. I don't think we're getting that information, because one day it's this, one day it's that, and the third day, I would just come on back whenever you want to.
Well, there's two sides of that. A, you're right. They're confusing the heck out of us because it changes every day. Let's also understand, though, from time to time, the scientific understanding of the disease changes. And when that happens, I would expect them to change their advice according to the science. But we're getting so many changes, and people are so confused by the very thing that you're describing, that nobody knows what's true anymore. Nobody knows what to do or not do. And that's too bad. That's too bad, because it doesn't help in eradicating this disease.
Well, I was in my doctor's office just last week one day, and he still has probably 99% of the people, not the cloth mask, but he has the little white and blue mask.
It's a surgical mask.
Ears.
Yeah, it's called a surgical mask. Yeah.
And I said, hey, Doc, how's that working? Because, it helps you. He gave me an honest answer. It may not be the best, but it's the best we got right now, or we can get a hold of, or whatever.
Better than nothing.
Is contact tracing, we should have done it. Well, now we do nothing.
Well, but here's the thing about that. Now, Bill, let's understand this too. Contact tracing relies on the person who has COVID providing the information to the health department. And you talk to the health departments, and they will tell you over time it has become more and more difficult to get people to give them the information they need for contact tracing. So it's a two-way street. It's not just a one-way street.
Oh, absolutely not. And I don't even profess that it is. But an answer. I mean, I was in a facility just in the past week that one wing of this facility was like a retirement home. Where people went and they had to. And one wing of this facility had the COVID. And the lady, when you checked in, took your temperature and all of this, put masks on you and goggles and all that stuff, and said to us, and said to me personally, well, we know that some of our staff has COVID, but we're short-staffed and we have to have them in here.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, really, and they can't understand why people, and it is not a black disease, it's not a white disease.
No, it's
a Hispanic disease.
It's a universal
People
disease.
are scared because, damn, we're not getting told the truth.
Well,
That's the truth, and then we'll make our decisions. Me and the doctor will sit down and make that decision.
so let me ask you this. Would you recognize the truth if it were told to you?
I can't say that I will.
That's why I rely on my doctor.
Uneducated idiot.
That's why I rely on my doctor.
And I trust him.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And
All right, Bill.
Well, have a good one, Art.
Yep, you bet. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Okay.
Now, listen, the point is we have been confused, and the story changes regularly. Sometimes there's good reason for it. Other times, you're not so sure. We'll be back. Lines are open for you here on the Art Lewis Show.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntyre Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AA Wealth Management, LLC.
Watching TaxSlayer calculate your refund feels like climbing to the apex of a roller coaster.
Here we go!
And flying down the tracks. At maximum refund speed. It's your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palettes, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Puerto Rico is the new go-to destination for investment opportunities and the tool that connects investors with innovative projects seeking capital on the island. Impeller takes the guesswork out of investing in Puerto Rico, surfacing the insights you need to make informed decisions and empower your investment portfolio. Visit investpr.org/impeller and set up your account today to see what the island has to offer. Impeller, your hub for investment opportunities in Puerto Rico. Powered by Invest Puerto Rico.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief. And you, Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialize in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too. Because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
To restart school. They are safe.
Russia.
Threatening.
Against Ukraine.
News.
Dr. Fauci. Around the clock.
Wear a mask. Mr. President, why aren't you wearing a mask?
I'm at the end of my rope. Pass these voting rights bills. Perhaps the president went a little too far.
Unprecedented.
Court's decision.
The mandate, big loss.
News.
President Biden's approval rating dropped
To 33%. People are unable to find the at-home test.
News.
TV dad. Mom sagging. Oh my goodness.
On WSGW.
This is the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. And coming up in, 2 days? It'll be the 1-year anniversary of the inauguration of Joe Biden as President of the United States. And as always the case, after a president's first year, lots of analysis. How did he do? Well, there's this one headline in Associated Press headline that kind of says it all. Biden year one takeaways. Grand ambitions, humbling defeats. I think when we look at it, we have to, and if you're going to be an honest observer now, you have to credit the good and fault the not so good. So let's take a look at some of these things. And again, this is my personal opinion, folks. You may totally disagree, and you are welcome to that. He started out professing to be a uniter. His inaugural address was all about uniting, toning down the rhetoric. How did he do? In this area, I think without question, if we use the old school grades of A, B, C, D, F, he gets an F. The one area of, I think, success that we have to credit him with was the ability to get an infrastructure package. It's been on a wish list of a lot of presidents, including Donald Trump, who chose not to go after it in the beginning of his administration. But Joe Biden did successfully put together an infrastructure package that even had some Republican support. So I give him a check mark for that. Is it a perfect package? No. Was it everything it should be? Probably not. So I'll give him a B, maybe even a B plus for the infrastructure package. Immigration. He gets a D or an F. But he's not alone. Administration after administration has failed in the Department of Immigration. He is not alone in that failure. But I think he exacerbated it. So that's why he gets a very, very poor grade in immigration. In terms of spending and controlling the funds of the country, he's not alone in this because Congress takes the blame too, but he has not done well. Inflation is rampant. My wife came home yesterday from one of the major big box grocery stores and said for the first time she actually found a lot of empty shelves. He moved the opposite direction of what most presidents do. If you look at history, most presidents, not all, but most presidents, when they get in office, they tend to move a little bit to the center. Biden, who generally was thought to be a centrist and someone who could cross the aisle from his years in Senate of negotiating, and he's known as an adept negotiator, Biden, you would expect, would be, as he called for, a unifier. Instead, he was swayed by the progressive wing of his party and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, and he moved way to the left. Just the opposite of what most presidents have done. And now, his Build Back Better plan, which has a lot of elements that Democrats have wanted for a long, long time, including child tax credits and all of those things, and the voting rights package that he has been pushing, they're dead in the water. Mainly because of two senators on his side of the aisle who don't agree with changing the rules of the Senate and getting rid of the filibuster. I think what we're going to see after these show votes, and that's what Schumer's bringing to the floor, going to vote on these packages. Well, they're show votes because they're not going to go anywhere. I think what you will see quickly is some stripped down versions of the Build Better Back plan. You may find, for example, a singular standalone child tax credit plan. You may see elements of the Build Back Better plan come to forth on their own. Will they pass? Can't tell you. Most of them, if they do pass, will be a 50-50 with the vice president casting the deciding vote, which gives the Democrats advantage. They can't wait, though, because they all have their eye on the midterm elections and running again for re-election, those that have stated that they will. They can't be bogged down in Washington, D.C. at a time when they feel they need to get out into their district and campaign. Going to be an interesting time to watch. A very interesting time. The midterms, going to be something to see. We'll take a pause and then we'll be back with more. It's the Art Lewis Show.
Hi, this is Jessica. And at United Financial Credit Union, we want to help you save money on your monthly payments. Right now, you can take a loan and combine those high rate loans into one low rate monthly payment. This year, focus on you. We're here to help you improve your financial health with our debt consolidation loans, free financial counseling, credit rebuilding options, and so much more. Call, click, or stop in to transfer your high-rate loans to our debt consolidation loan today. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to open an account. It's time for you to check out your local friendly credit union and see how we will put you first.
Some restrictions may apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA. Equal housing lender.
We're where you work, where you live. Financial Credit Union, serving the Valley community.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Activision would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
The WSGW Morning Team Show with Charlie, Dave, and Art.
This is a story from St. Mary's, Georgia. It says here that officials in that community are considering a money-saving program to put inmates in fire stations. The program would put 2 inmates in each of 3 existing firehouses. Apparently, this is already being done in another county, doing very successfully. Inmates would be working alongside regular firefighters, responding residential fires. The inmates would have no guards, be monitored by a surveillance system. Authorities say that the program could save more than $500,000 a year. Now, we're talking crimes of like drug offenses and thefts.
Well, it could be a way of treating the prisoners to keep them close to fires and they find out where they may spend eternity and correct their ways.
Either shape up or here's what you need to get used to. Dave, I like the way you think.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
Democrat say in their kids' education. In other news, it's January.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW. Still time remaining to get you in. If you have a thought you'd like to share with us, give us a call. Eyes will be on the Supreme Court today because they have a couple of interesting cases. First one is a First Amendment case that's pretty interesting. Outside of Boston City Hall, there is a flagpole, something like 83 feet tall or something like that, whatever it is. And it traditionally has been used to display flags of various entities, everything from sports teams and nonprofits, LGBTQ community, you name it, except for religious organizations. Well, in 2017, an organization wanted to raise on the pole a Christian flag that had a Latin Red Cross on it and was blatantly Christian, which was fine. That was the flag, and that was what its message was. They were turned down by Boston, who invoked what they said was the long-standing principle of separation of church and state, which is defined in the Constitution. The group has pursued its cause to the Supreme Court, who today will decide who controls that flagpole, who provides the message. Is the message the property of the group who takes responsibility for the message? Or is the message sponsored by government because they supply the flagpole? I'm not a lawyer. I have no idea which way it's going to go. I mean, I have my personal feelings of how it should go. They don't count. I understand the separation of church and state. But that is designed to prevent the government from establishing a religion. Because you remember that those who fled from a one religion state came here to enjoy those freedoms of not having just one religion, to be able to practice the religion of your choice. I don't believe allowing an organization to raise a Christian flag for a day or two, or however long they stay on the pole, is the government dictating what religion you're going to follow. Because in the same way that they could allow the Christian organization to raise a flag, they could also allow a Jewish organization to raise a flag. It's not the government establishing religion. It's just the government providing an opportunity to spread a message. But it'll be interesting. We will take a break and then come back and close out on the Art Lewis Show. Let me take a moment, talk to you about your sleep. Hope you slept well last night, because when you go to bed, you spend a third of your life there. You need quality sleep, and you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Visit all the so-called sleep stores, or rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And don't forget, if you have an RV or a boat, they'll custom make a mattress for you. Visit Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving the area since 1935 at 5343 Janes Road, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Online, sanitarymattress.com, or call them at 989-753-1757.
Have you been considering a virtual education for your child? Bangor Township Virtual Schools offers an alternative learning environment for your child. Since 2015, Bangor Township Virtual School has provided K through 12th grade in the Saginaw Bay area with a high quality and accredited public education. The School of Choice window is open January 7th through January 21st. For more information or enrolling your child, go to bangorschools.org. Bangor Township Virtual Schools, the virtual education experts.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and gets clogged, it's less effective, and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is a test of the WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios,
this is WSGW.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Free United States Supreme Court. It's a battle over Boston's decision to reject a group's attempt to fly a Christian flag on a City Hall pole that's been used by other non-religious organizations. Attorney Matthew Staver says Boston is in the wrong.
The city, by an unbroken history and practice and policy, expressly declared that the flagpoles are one of its public forums open to all applicants. In doing so, the city long ago crossed the line from government speech to private speech.
Lower courts have agreed with the city. Debate set for today on the voting rights legislation poised to fail in the Senate with no Republican support and no path to change the rules to make it a simple majority for passage. Massachusetts Democrat Elizabeth Warren on CBS Mornings.
All 50 Democrats, all 50, have agreed to the voting rights protection bill. We're just hung
Right.
that effectively gives McConnell a veto.
CBS's Errol Barnett says AT&T and Verizon plan to launch 5G service tomorrow despite airline industry pushback.
5G technology kicks in at airports across the country tomorrow, and airlines are currently warning that interference on its C-band spectrum could impact close to half of commercial and cargo flights.
Well, it's still a mess in some parts of the country that got walloped by last weekend's winter storm.
I'm Jim Crisula along Interstate 81 in the mountains of southwestern Virginia. Millions on the East Coast are digging up from a weekend snow and ice storm with the threat of more snow later in the week.
Upper Pennsylvania. Yes, we have a lot of snow. Just take your time. Watch what you're doing. Pay attention. That's all I can tell you.
Thousands are still without power in the Carolinas after an ice storm brought down trees on utility lines.
Well, CBS's Cammie McCormick has the latest today on diplomatic efforts to stave off a possible Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke today to Russian Lavrov, and a statement says Blinken stressed the importance of a diplomatic path forward. Blinken later today will head to Ukraine for talks there. He'll also meet with U.S. Embassy staff there to discuss contingency plans should the situation unravel.
Now to Norway. At a parole hearing, the man convicted of killing 77 people in a two-pronged attack in 2011 told a court he was brainwashed and radicalized online. Anders Breivik held up a sign with white supremacist messages. Wall Street, a rough one so far. The Dow is down 531 points. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Your career takes flight when you join the winning teams at Soaring Eagle and Saguenay Eagles Landing, the premier gaming and entertainment destination. Currently hiring for a wide variety of positions for all levels of experience. Visit us online at SoaringEagleCasino.com for a full list of openings and learn about all the benefits and the new $15 an hour minimum wage. Apply today at Soaring Eagle Casino Resort and Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Players Lounge at the Bay Valley Resort. You're going to get a $20 gift certificate for only $10. Their appetizers include fried zucchini, chicken wings, and please don't sleep on their bacon-wrapped shrimp. You can also get burgers, their smokehouse chicken sandwich, and fish and chips. No matter what mood you're in, they've got you covered. Do yourself a favor and head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun. For shingles, everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Get Upside app and get 25 cents per gallon cash back on every gallon of gas you buy. Don't miss out. Millions of people have earned over $200 cash back every month just by using Get Upside and getting gas, which you were going to do anyways. There's no catch. It's simple and free. Download the free Get Upside app now and use promo code HYBRID to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's promo code HYBRID.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom is WSGW News.
It's 28 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. Saginaw Township Police are investigating a shots fired incident that happened this morning. Police responded to the 3400 block of Saxton Drive around 6 a.m. where they found a vehicle in a parking lot and an apartment window damaged by gunfire. There are no reports of any injuries. Police currently don't have a suspect or motive. They're asking anyone with information to call the Saginaw Township Police Department. Last September, police in Iosco County began an investigation into the death of a 3-year-old girl. The remains of Sutton Moser were discovered in a garbage bag at a home on 5477 Cedar Lake Road in Oscoda Township. The child had been stabbed multiple times. When police, Justine Johnson, they described her as unemotional regarding the death of her daughter. After her arrest, she pleaded not guilty to open murder and first-degree child abuse. She was ordered to undergo psychiatric evaluation and was recently found competent to stand trial. Johnson has been denied bond. She has a preliminary hearing on February 4th. A 52-year-old man was recently arraigned in Saginaw County for online child pornography. Martin Rogers been following an investigation into his online activity. Police seized digital evidence from his home when it was learned he was allegedly looking at the materials. He's charged with aggravated possession of child sexually abusive material, distributing or promoting child sexually abusive activity, and using a computer to commit a crime. The State Police Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force encourages parents to monitor their children's online activity and teach them about the safe use of the Internet. Anyone with information regarding possible child sexual can contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at missingkids.org. A dog found in a Saginaw County animal cruelty case is heading to Utah for rehabilitation. Bella, a young pit bull mix, was found by a U.S. postal carrier in Saginaw August 16th, tangled up in a steel chain with no food or water. She had chewed off part of her own leg in an attempt. Saginaw County Animal Control began an investigation into the incident and has issued warrants, but no arrests have been made. Bella will receive rehabilitation at Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab, Utah, where it's hoped she can be adopted afterward. WSGW News Time coming up on 11:08.
Hi, this is Jessica. It's time to check out United Financial Credit Union and experience the credit union difference. From youth accounts to retirement accounts, we can help you with all of your financial needs. Here at United Financial Credit Union, we've been committed to our communities since 1964 and strive to provide long-term financial stability to our members and their families. Whether you need a loan or are looking for a safe place for your savings, you will always be treated as our top priority. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to open an account. It's time for you to check out your local friendly credit union and see how we will put you first.
Must meet eligibility requirements, federally insured by the NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the value community.
WSGW News Time is 11:08. Has the University of Michigan been completely transparent in its dealings with fired President Mark Schlissel? Some state lawmakers are questioning the process. The Board of Regents met behind closed doors, a possible violation of the state's Open Meetings Act. Here's more from Charlie Langton at the Michigan News Network.
Some lawmakers and others are not necessarily second-guessing Saturday's firing of U of M President Mark Schlissel. It is the way that the Board of Regents did it that's into question now. The Regents held an unannounced Zoom meeting to discuss Schlissel's inappropriate conduct with a female employee. And Senator Ed McBroom, he's the chair of the Senate Oversight Committee, he says that U of M should be more transparent since it does receive state funds. However, it likely did not violate the open meetings law. The senators say that they may want to change those laws. Now, U of M says that it did comply with its emergency rules, and it says that it will affirm every action it did, including the firing of the president, at a February 17th meeting.
Charlie Langton, Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered snow showers here for today with cloudy sky conditions and a high into the mid-30s. Winds out of the south around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, a slight chance for some snow showers here, cloudy skies, with temperatures holding rather steady. By Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies, temperatures steady early, then slowly fall throughout the day. Then by Thursday, partial sunshine develops. We'll see a high around 18. Friday, mostly sunny, high around 20 degrees. Then by Saturday, mostly cloudy sky conditions. We'll see high around 25. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 30.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis from my Second on Spirit home studio. Focus brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. And today we focus on McLaren Bay region and one of the services they offer. And those services are provided through the Helen B. Nicholas Clinic. We're going to find out about that today as we talk to Terry Glazer from she's the program director and coordinator of the volunteer clinic. She's also a registered nurse. And we say good morning to Terry.
Good morning, Art.
Morning, Terry. Thanks for joining us. I think before we get too deep into the nitty-gritty of the clinic, we might need a bit of an overview as to what the Helen M. Nicholas Volunteer Clinic is all about and how it came about.
Sure. Helen Nicholas Volunteer Clinic was began in March 2004, so we are entering our 18th year and very excited about that. We serve the people who are unable to acquire insurance, so therefore they don't get health care. And we use volunteers to do it. So we're the Helen M. Nicholas Volunteer Clinic.
When you say that the folks come without health care, are we talking now about providing free health care to those individuals?
Yes. So all the care is provided through the grants that we receive and donations from the community and many people who have heard about us, and we pay for their medical care, which is provided by volunteer providers, and then medication and the such, whatever they need.
Are there
and it's free to them. Mm-hmm.
Are there qualifications to get that free care? In other words, is there an income test, things of that nature?
Yeah, similar. Yes, we provide it, like I said, to people who do not have health care, but that in itself means they cannot attain health care due to their income, or they just don't qualify, they can't afford it. Not based on them, but based on their annual income. We do an intake interview when a new patient will come in, and we can take any patient who is 250% over the poverty level. And that's the first thing we do. If we determine that they do qualify, the first thing we do is try to get them insurance. And in order to make that determination, we do require that each patient's financial status is provided to us. So we need their W-2s, we need their anything that they have. And if that isn't provided to us, then we cannot care for them.
So let's talk about those who don't get the care. In other words, if I come to you and let's say I'm on Medicare, for example, I would not qualify?
You would not, because you actually have insurance under Medicare that covers the things that we take care of. But getting back to that too, that's not to say that you can't be employed and come here. Actually, 60% of our patients are employed. They just don't make enough money, or they are not provided benefits by their employer, so they're the ones who fall through the crack. And of those that are employed, 60% of them they make under $20,000 annually. So the cost of insurance and such would be insurmountable for them.
So when someone comes to you without insurance, and you as you mentioned, make an attempt to get them insurance. If they don't cooperate with that and they don't want that insurance, don't want to buy that insurance, does that disqualify them from getting free medical care?
Does if they qualify and just don't want to do it and we do have patients that do present that way, we can't take them in, not based on what this clinic is servicing, and we're servicing the uninsured that cannot attain insurance.
All right, hang on. I have to take a break, and we'll be back talking to Terry Gleiser, and she is the program director, coordinator, if you will, of the Helen and Nicholas Volunteer Clinic. And we will return with more after these notes.
This is Matt Crowder live at the Shell station on 41st Street, reporting on the free gas app called Get Upside. Earn cash back on every gallon of gas they buy. Excuse me, miss. Have you heard of the Get Upside gas app?
Of course. People are earning as much as $300 a year with the Get Upside app. It's so easy. Open the app to see nearby gas stations offering money back. Pick the one you want and get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Get Upside gas app and earn up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder, Radio News Network.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to earn up to 25 cents a gallon cash back when you buy gas. Use promo code TODAY for a 50 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 7 Next fill up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Get up to 75 cents a gallon cash back on your next fill up when you download the free Get Upside app and use promo code TODAY. Promo code TODAY.
For extraordinary care in the Great Lakes Bay region, you know just where to go.
Oh yeah, Covenant Healthcare.
But when you need to decide whether to go to emergency, urgent care, or your primary care provider,
Well, let me get back to you on that.
here's how to get the right care in the right place at Covenant. See your primary care doctor for ongoing non-urgent complaints like joint or muscle pain, digestive issues, mild headaches, etc. Doctor's office hours and your care can't wait? Come to a MedExpress urgent care location. It's the perfect choice for ear infections, respiratory illness, sprains, stomach aches, and so on. Virtual urgent care and doctor visits are also available. Finally, call 911 or go directly to emergency if you have heart attack or stroke symptoms or any severe injury. Still not sure? Call or text Covenant Care Connect at 989-583-3135 and we'll help you decide. Covenant Healthcare.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top.
I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Tune in for Michigan Wolverines basketball. Tonight, the Wolverines host the Maryland Terrapins in a crucial Big Ten battle in Ann Arbor. 30 p.m. on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Broadcasting from the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you, talking to Terry Gleiser from the Helen M. Nicholas Volunteer Clinic, part of McLaren Bay Region. So let's talk about the clinic itself and what services are provided. Obviously, you're a healthcare service, but can't come to you for everything, can I?
a really good question. Actually, what we provide at the Helen M. Nicholas Clinic is free primary medical care, which includes labs, x-rays. We do dental care through the Delta College. We have a volunteer clinic out at Delta College, and medication that we would prescribe. The prescribers here have to prescribe it. However, if we determine that the providers determine that there's something more needed, and a really good example of this is a patient comes in with back pain. So we would order labs and back x-rays, such was needed, whatever it was. And if the reports come back that it's something more extensive and we need to actually go to the level of an MRI, the x-ray wasn't sufficient to make the diagnosis, that's something we don't cover. But at that point, what we do is offer the patient paperwork to get them to return for assistance. And when that assistance is granted, then they notify us and we can go through and order that anyway, and McLaren pays for it. But it starts with us. We'll give them the paperwork and get them on the road to getting that assistance, and then we can cover those expenses as well.
So what is the level of the practitioner who's providing this medical service?
Multiple levels, actually. We have them all. We have nurse practitioners, physician assistants. We have medical doctors. We have counselors. We have mental health counselors here. We have an NP that works with the counselor and the patients that are mental health patients for prescriptions, and everybody.
We're going to redirect you for a moment, because this question has been burning in me forever. What is the difference between a nurse practitioner and a physician's assistant?
Well, a nurse practitioner can practice on their own, where a physician's assistant usually works alongside a physician. And it's a little bit of the structure of how the two programs are set up. So a nurse practitioner would write her own orders, and if it's anything out of her scope, she would refer to a physician, where a physician assistant, everything that they order is co-signed by the physician.
Ah, okay. That answers that question.
When they're treating you, you don't see any difference, really. It's what happens after they treat you.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
So, and who can prescribe and who can write the orders and all of that stuff.
I did want to go back, Art, when we were talking about who doesn't qualify. I wanted to clarify some of that a little bit. Anybody who walks in the clinic that is covered by commercial insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, or eligible for any government health plans, if they're on Medicaid, Medicare, My Child. And this is a sticky one. If they have veterans medical benefits, because some of those aren't so easily explained, but those programs also would disqualify them from the clinic. If someone walks in with an
of course, theoretically, they wouldn't need the clinic if they had all of those services.
Exactly. But sometimes what it is that insurance isn't covering something they want.
Oh, okay.
To get, and that makes it difficult for them, so they come. But if they have that insurance, it disqualifies them from our scope. And also, if somebody's in that same light, exactly what you just said, it should be covered, is workman's compensation.
Yeah.
If they walk in with an injury from workman's comp, we cannot take them.
How are you handling COVID?
We screen every patient that comes in. Issues. If we think someone is ill with COVID, or there stands a good chance, we refer them to the hospital for testing.
And that's been an issue, I would have to imagine.
Not really.
Really?
No,
that's good.
I can't even say we have one a week, because we don't.
All right, so let's bring this to a conclusion by talking about, first of all, where you're located and when patients can show up.
Oh, absolutely. So we are located at the McLaren East Medical Mall, which is in Essexville at 1458 West Center Road. My place to tell everybody, we're right across from McDonald's Dining Center, because they can all see the golden arches, right?
Yeah.
And our clinic is open on Wednesday nights, and registration opens at 4:00 and it goes till 6:30. The clinic is open until we see all the patients, but if they aren't in the lobby and registered between 4 and 6:30, then we cannot.
So it's
that clinic. the clinic that we use is used by another agency during the day. So they can come in at 4, but they cannot enter our clinic before 4.
So it's not like a doctor's office where you call up, make an appointment for such
No,
and such a
there are
day
no
at a such and
appointments.
such a time.
There are some appointments because we have a mental health counselor and we have an endo twice a month to see all of our diabetics. We have a high diabetic clientele, but they make those appointments themselves. That's not the people that walk in the door between 4 and 6:30.
Is there a website or someplace they can get more information on the clinic if they need
Yes,
it?
they can go to www.mclaren.org, Bay Regional, and they can go to the services, down to the service section for the community, and Helen Nicholas Clinic is listed right there. They can click right on that. Or I have a phone number if they have questions.
Sure.
They can call 989-4830. And we would welcome any calls, or they can come visit us and see if they think, they're applicable. We would like to ask all the listeners today to share the information about the clinic, because I think most of us all know someone who could use this care.
Sure.
The majority of our patients tell us that if they didn't come to the clinic, they wouldn't seek any care at all. And that's not good for them. That's not good for the community. That's just plain not good.
Well, Terry, listen, thank you for spending some time with us this morning and telling us about the clinic. We appreciate it.
Happy to. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Terry Glazer, and she was talking about the Helen M. Nicholas Volunteer Clinic, part of McLaren Bay Region. We'll be back to close out after these notes.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the value to